Welcome to the REI Foundation Podcast, where we cover all the steps and strategies to make your real estate dreams a reality. Now your hosts, Jason and Peely.
Hi again. Welcome everybody to the REI Foundation Podcast with Jason and Peely. It's Friday again, and this is Foundation Inspection Fridays. And today we have Kevin Dowling joining us again. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, guys. Good to be back.
Welcome back, Mr. Dowling.
So we are going to talk about their first month in the Norbrook Arms apartment complex.
Correct. Yeah, we just are reaching the 1 month miles marker. We're probably about close to 5 weeks now. And so today we're going to talk about basically our accountability breakdown and what we've sent out to all of our investors and partners on the deal about what's happening out there, the good and the bad, and the directions we are looking to continue to go, and the steps we're looking to take to make all of those things happen.
So Kevin, give me some highlights from month one.
Well, step one, we had a successful transition to the new management company. So the team is in place. We've got the on-site property and asset manager in place. Tenants now kind of have a direct point of contact for any issues that might arise in their units. We've also instituted a couple operational objectives. One is a rent raise plan. So we identified groups that we want to focus on, one being pretty underpaying tenants that can be brought to market or given some opportunities to get closer to market rate. And then also some upcoming leases we've targeted to identify some market rate to avoid loss to lease and get those rents up to market as well. The down units are starting to get turned. So we have estimates being done and the construction work necessary being done to get those units ready to go. And actually, we received pretty good news earlier this week that all of the units that are ready to be rented are now committed. We have tenants ready and committed to move in.
Nice. And these are all at market value now.
Correct.
Nice.
Yep, and we actually have commitments for all the units, even the down units we're still working on the quotes for, which is great. So the property management company really coming through with that, and it was on us to make sure that we were getting the right renovation in place for turning these units, and that took us a couple of days back and forth with the property manager just so they were completely clear with our expectations of how we wanted these units to turn. And so going forward, it may have taken a little longer than this first point, but going forward, it should be a pretty clean transition because they completely understand the expectation going forward.
So I know the last time we talked, we were speaking about like ways to sort of add value to this property and sort of the ways that you were going to do it. So what have you done so far, or what are your concrete plans to add value to this property? And if I'm using the wrong terminology, please correct me.
Well, just generally speaking, we're kind of just doing things to just increase the look and feel of the property. So adding new signage, doing some landscaping, just feel good things. But in addition to
the sign looked like it had a shotgun hole through it. So as good as that is,
Oh, no.
at least for that point, people will make sure it's not, there's no drive-bys going on.
Yeah. So, but definitely those are more feel good things. The items that we're working on right now are also items that are going to decrease expenses and obviously increase the NOI. And some of those items are from an operational standpoint, we're instituting move-in fees as well as pet fees. And also with the pet fees, a monthly per pet fee as well, in addition to the rents. On top of those, we're in the final stages of finalizing contracts for cable and laundry room. And we're also, this is pretty exciting. We are testing kind of like a pilot program for storage units in the basement. We're going to start off with 6 units. We're going to try to target about $35 per month per storage unit. And then if we successfully rent those out, we've got a ton of space in the basement to potentially increase that number of storage units to maybe 35 to 40 storage units.
Wow.
So we're excited about that.
Awesome plan. So sort of explain to me, like, versus like residential real estate, what does adding value to a property do for the value of the property?
Well, I'll use the laundry contract, for example. So in a single family residence, when I'm doing my laundry on the weekends, I got a nice new laundry machine dryer. We don't get any value out of having an additional laundry room or a dryer in the basement. But in a multifamily unit, 94 units, we have multiple revenue streams with the laundry facilities. And actually, when Jay and I purchased the property, we have 2 laundry rooms. One of them just isn't being used right now. So once we finalize the contract, we're going to have 2 working laundry facilities and revenue streams that we can charge the tenants, and not only the existing tenants, the 94 units, but also the surrounding areas, the surrounding buildings can utilize our laundry facility as well.
And the reason that's important is because we are the only building, and there's probably 400 units in this greater area where we are right here. And there's not one other building that has a laundry facility. So we have 2 laundry facilities, and actually one of the laundry facilities is down. So you can see the loss of revenue that was happening with the prior ownership. So now we put that in, we can create a circumstance where now more people are able to do their laundry. It's I think the laundry facility, if they want to go do their laundry out, it's about a half mile away. So people should be pretty happy, and it will help our bottom line as well.
Wow. So tell me about, I know you guys were speaking, I'm not sure if it was on our last podcast or just like briefly to me before, but talk to me about your green initiatives. Talk to me how you first got started with that and the steps you're taking to install these initiatives.
Sure. And the green initiatives that will go forward with some of the utility efficiencies that we're working on right now. So we have quotes in place that are going forward, basically replacing the windows. This is pretty vital. The windows are very old, some even being original, losing a lot of heat, a lot of air conditioning out these windows constantly. So that just means that people are just going to run the heat more, run the AC at a higher level. The toilets a lot of them are still the 3.8 gallons or high flush toilets. So we're replacing them straight across the board with 1.8 gallon flush toilets. And from there, we will change out to the faucets, we'll change out shower heads, and we're basically going through the plumbing, making sure that we have no leaks that are being missed. And really that is going to help our bottom line substantially, because the water is, I won't say abused, but I think someone must be running the faucet all day long and never turn it off. Would be a fair thing to say here. So with that, we just kept thinking that we just want to make this area better. We want to improve the property. We want to make it more efficient. And something that can always help both sides is that if we put together a green initiative plan, it not only helps us and not only helps our property, not only helps the tenants, helps the state, of course, helps everybody down the run. Funny enough, every single person we kept asking said, no, this doesn't exist. But that just seemed crazy that it wouldn't exist. So we just kept asking the same question. And funny enough, keep asking the same question, sooner or later, you'll find that person who said, oh yeah, you can do that. And that got us in contact with the Office of Sustainability in Louisville, which is quite a word to say. And from there, we've searched out a couple of different programs that are looking like they may be a nice fit for us to help us not only with some of the aspects we just spoke about, but also looking into solar for the buildings. So that's very exciting. We just had a call actually this morning with another gentleman who's basically done this for, Kevin, maybe you recall, he's done this on countless projects for a number of years, and he's as excited as we are. He's just excited to just be doing this work.
So tell me more about that call, Kevin.
Yeah, he's a member of the USGBC, which is the United States Green Building Council. So he gave us just his take on what he can provide us, definitely putting us in touch with references and referrals for bidding out the solar. That's his main focus, is energy initiatives and energy efficiency. So solar is what he's going to primarily help us out with, and also kind of pro forma everything out in terms of kind of what our investment will be and what the return on investment will be. Because obviously energy and efficiency initiatives and green initiatives are good for the environment, good for the tenants. But I mean, ultimately they're also good for our investors because we're able to bring the efficiency or bring the expenses down through the efficiencies and realize that on the bottom line on the NOI and increase that net operating income.
Nice. And the increase of net operating income equals
added value.
Nice.
Added value,
and ideally on paper, depending on what cap rates basically reference in the area right now, it just creates a property that's, if we were going to resell, it makes us a more attractive property and ultimately worth more.
Great. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I think the one other big item too that we're working on right now, and just talking about efficiencies, is we're replacing the boilers too, and making those a more efficient system. I think they're 40-year-old boilers right now, which are operating at, if maybe on the high side, 40% efficiency.
40%. That would be great. You could just see the lack of efficiency if you looked at them. So,
and that's a short-term initiative for us. In the nenext 30 to 45 days, we should have those switched out. Got
both of those quotes, came back better than we thought, which is perfect. I think we beat our quote estimate by about $18,000. And so for us, that helps us that we can basically take that CapEx money and put it into other things that maybe were on a little bit lower level on our list, but now we'll be able to accomplish them as well.
Great. Well, one last question. If there are anybody out there who's looking to get into this type of investing or perhaps invest with you, how can they find you both? And basically, how can they find you both and what can they read?
You can check us out at email us at info@oakcapitalpartners or oakcappartners.com. Again, info@oakcappartners.com. Ton of good material out there. Of course, Bigger Pockets is a wealth source upon its own. Loved a great book about adding value. Peely's referenced it a few times. It's Jake and Gino's Wheelbarrow Profits.
Yep.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Wheelbarrow Profits. Awesome
Profits. Book. They talk a ton about adding value and a lot of different things, a lot of outside the box things you can think to that maybe not everyone else is doing. And sometimes you'll be surprised about how much value you can add to your property.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us today. And this is Jason and Peely with the REI Foundation podcast, Foundation Inspection Fridays. Thank you so very much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into the REI Foundation podcast. Check back next time for more awesome tips and strategies to launch your new you in real estate.